When I was in college, I thought when I graduated, I was guaranteed a six-figure salary, and boy, was I wrong. Especially being in engineering, I thought that I was guaranteed to make $100,000 a year, and that just wasn't the case. And I think people need to be more transparent with what they're making straight out of college. Today, I wanted to show you exactly what my paycheck looks like, what's kind of withheld, what investments and deductions I have out of that paycheck, and what that looks like as someone who lives in Louisiana and is a fresh grad in industrial engineering. So I'm Cade, and I started this channel just to, as someone that's in their early 20s and just wanted to share my experiences, tips and tricks, what I'm going through in life right now. And side note, let me know if you think this shirt is tough because I wear it like every day and my wife can't stand it. But let's get into the video. The first thing I want to talk about is my gross salary. So I make $3,040.62 every 2 weeks. So that brings my annual income to $79,056.12 per year. Again, I'm an industrial engineering graduate. I just started working in August of 2025 and I graduated in May of 2025. Honestly, I'm pretty happy with this income, especially in a low cost of living area like Louisiana. But again, that's way under the 100K me and all my friends thought we would make coming straight out of engineering. But I do want to add, I had another offer in Arkansas for another large, reputable company, and it was only $60,000 a year. So $20,000 difference. Obviously, you can see why I took the job that I'm in now. And I also had other friends that I graduated with same year, different degrees, different disciplines in engineering. But some would make almost 100, some would make way less than me. So it just shows there's a lot of variability in starting salaries. So you just kind of need to take in mind what kind of salary you want, where you want to live, and just kind of live with that decision after that. Definitely apply to a bunch of jobs and just see what's out there and kind of try to get different offers so that way you can compare. So let's get into the paycheck a little bit more. The first thing I want to talk about is my 401k deduction. So this is a big pre-tax deduction that you can get here. You definitely want to take advantage of any employer match that you have from your company. That's just basically free money that they're adding onto your salary. So definitely want to take advantage of it. So my employer matches 100% up to 6%, so that's a really good match. But then they also match 50% from 6 to 10%. So what that means is it's a little complicated, but if you are to invest 10% of your salary like I do, they will essentially match 8% of that. So for me, that's $304.06 every paycheck that's going straight into my 401k, plus another $243 that they add to me. So I'm adding almost $600 every 2 weeks into my 401k, which is awesome for entire retirement, investing, and just building my net worth. And another thing is it's pre-tax, so it's reducing your taxable income, which who doesn't like to do that? And as far as retirement, that's going to be over $1 million in about 20 years, assuming a 10% growth. So that's another thing you want to look at when you're taking these offers. Look at the benefits. It's not just going to be based on your salary. That can be another huge thing. So the next thing that's deducted out of my paycheck by my choice is the employee stock purchase plan that my company offers. I actually didn't really know this was a thing until I signed up for it in my company. Where I work, you can elect to put in up to 10% of your salary into their to buy their stock. And what they do is there's two purchasing periods. You can sign up in December and in June. And so if you sign up in December, they kind of withhold however much you want out of your paycheck. They kind of put it to the side in their own kind of account. And it's usually managed through something like Fidelity. And it's really cool because some have like a look back feature, which means it's not just the stock price at when they want to purchase. It kind of takes the beginning of when you started your period to the end of when that period ends, and then it takes those 2 days, takes the average of those, and then gives you a 15% discount on top of that. So again, it's like a guaranteed ROI of almost like 12, 13%. So that's another huge thing. And I kind of just use it as an automated savings account. I plan on using this to fund my Roth IRA because 10% of my income would be, about $8,000, and then plus that 12% ROI that I plan to get from getting the discount, because I plan to sell it immediately. I don't really want to hold on to a single stock short term just because I don't want to expose myself to that kind of risk. And I'd rather just have the money immediately, take my free money and walk away. And I want to use that to fund my Roth IRA, which is great. So the next thing that people don't tell you about is insurance. So I actually didn't have insurance the first 6 months I worked for the company. So from July to December, I didn't have insurance. So, save a little bit more money. I was still in my mom's. But then I got married in December. So I decided to sign up at the beginning of January. So that way me and my wife would be covered. And luckily, my company pays a lot of the insurance. So I only have $100 coming out of my account. $100 coming out of my account every 2 weeks. And that covers me and my wife for basic health, vision, and dental, which is huge. The deductibles are kind of large, like $7,000, but we don't really plan on going to the doctor a bunch outside of, normal checkups and small emergencies. Another thing that's great with my company is they automatically contribute to a health savings account. And people will tell you health savings account are great because they're triple tax benefited to where they have their pre-tax, post-tax, you don't get taxed on the growth, if you use it for qualifying savings and all that good stuff. I haven't really gotten too much in the weeds with HSAs. I haven't really started my own yet, but that is definitely next on the docket. But it is nice to know that they're automatically contributing that for me. Again, benefits matter. Definitely do your research when you are looking at job offers and kind of deciding where you want to go. So now the fun part that people don't tell you about, and that is taxes. So let me break it down for you. Federal taxes, $148.95. Social Security taxes, $182.45. Medicare, $42.67. State taxes in Louisiana, $81.54. So that's $450 every paycheck just going to taxes that I have no say in. And that's married filing jointly. Those taxes were even higher whenever I was single before I got married. So, drum roll, my actual take home pay after my 401k, my employee stock purchase plan, insurance, taxes, making an $80,000 salary is $1,876.28. That's my $79,000 salary now to $48,788 after taxes. That's not exactly what you picture when you hear an engineering salary, right? Someone who takes home 48K. Kind of a bummer. But here's the important part. I get to invest like 20% of my income before it even hits my bank account, which is huge for habits and kind of building wealth. My goal is to not lifestyle inflate. I kind of want to stay with this kind of budget that I have now long term. Obviously, our rent will go up, but I don't really want anything else to go up in my life. That's going to be a huge discipline that me and my wife have to take on. And at the end of the day, I'm extremely grateful, and that's what it's all about. So I don't think people talk enough about what they're actually making and what all comes out of your check when you're working a full-time job straight out of college, especially when you're 22 years old and you're looking at job offers thinking that you kind of got undersold, getting offered 60,000, 80,000 when you thought you should be making 100,000 like everybody was telling you that's how much engineers make. So it's kind of disappointing. So I just kind of want to talk about the difference of salary, take home pay, your investments that you're making, and just being mindful of all those decisions that you're making. And that salary, top end salary, is not the only thing you need to consider, and it's not the only thing you should judge your life on. So if you're a new grad, I would really encourage you to just kind of drop your salary in the comments and kind of what cool benefits or options that you make with your company, just so that we can make it more transparent for everybody else. I think it'll help a ton for other people that are looking for jobs and kind of seeing what's out there. So if this helped you understand your own offers better or kind of what it looks like as a fresh engineering graduate, subscribe, comment, and because I would love to keep breaking down my money and explaining what's going on in my life with other people and kind of making that more transparent with everybody. Thank you.